All right, welcome guys. Thank you for joining us at today's webinar. We're excited to have everybody. I know it's been a while since we haven't did a webinar, so this is exciting. We have exciting guests as well. And so welcome again to the webinar. As you guys might know me, my name is Mohammed Saidi, Head of Customer Success here at TradeZero. I've been with the company since 2018, building out our world-class customer success team. Joining me today is our co-founder, John Ferrara, and our product specialist, Frank Sylvester. So today we're going to do a deep dive into our ZeroPro product features, covering a number of features based on feedback we received from you. And thanks to everybody that contributed on feedback. I mean, we have a whole list of feedback that we would try to touch on as many as we can. Your feedback has been great, and Frank, John, and I, we will try to get to as many topics as we can. Even though the platform has a lot of features, we'll try to get to the bottom of it. We'll try not to take a lot of time. Okay. And so whether you're an existing or prospective customer of TradeZero, we hope that this overview is going to give you a better idea on how to leverage our ZeroPro platform. So by the end of this, hopefully you guys can accomplish the full understanding of this product and how to use it, from all the features, hidden features, the settings, charts, level 2s, and all that good stuff. So we're going to have a plenty of time at the end that we'd like to go over. We'll go over it as well. Okay, so let's get John Ferrara right here, right now. John, can you come on and introduce yourself?
Hey guys, thank you everyone. Thank you, Mo, for the introduction. I just wanted to welcome everyone here today that is joining us. We're very happy to have you all with us for the live ZeroPro walkthrough. We hope that this webinar will provide you with a more thorough understanding of basically how to use a ZeroPro platform. Just like Mo said, Frank Sylvester, he's our ZeroPro product specialist. He'll be taking us through the walkthrough. We will take a few questions after Frank explains each window of ZeroPro. At the end of the presentation, we will try to do our best to answer as many questions as possible, like Mo said, in the Q&A session. And with that being said, I'm going to hand it right over to Frank so we can get right into this. Frank, go ahead, take it away and begin the walkthrough. Let's see ZeroPro.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mohammed and John. You guys can hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
All right, great. So yeah, hi everyone. Welcome on board here. So I'm Frank, a product specialist for TradeZero, and I've been working with the software and the platform for a few years, actually since 2017. It's a really great platform. I believe that it does give traders an advantage. And so today, basically, I'm starting off the webinar here, kind of like what a professional trader's layout would look like. We're going to switch it to kind of a presentation layout, and I'm going to walk you through each window one by one, doing a quick overview, and then I'm going to let you know before I move on to the next window. But just if you want to write down questions as I'm going through everything, and then at the end of the presentation, we can take a kind of deep dive into some of the elements of the software. That's, again, it's really going to give you an advantage, and it's very intricate, advanced platform that's completely configurable and customizable for active traders. So on that note, I'm going to switch our layouts here, and we're going to go to our presentation mode. So again, you can customize multiple layouts here, and you can configure and save these, each layout with a different function for hotkeys, charts, and everything like that. So this is going to be the webinar presentation, and we're just going to start off here with the portfolio manager. The portfolio window is a real-time order management system that traders can set up. They can create various conditions based on the current content of their portfolio. Traders can configure the portfolio window to hide or show panels, market data, and then also you can modify any of these settings directly from the window at any time. So some traders like to mask their account details, and you can see that here, this top row here, you have some statistics, right, for your equity, total shares. So if you want to just if you want to exclude, for example, total shares traded or day realized, and you only want to have a certain aspect of this available, you can do that. You can also mask your account. You can see that we have a few positions here, and this is our opens positions tab right here above these symbols here. This is the orders panel. So this is where all your pending orders, if you have a limit order or a stop market order, it's going to appear in this top orders panel here. This right here is your positions. You can see that we have closed positions. So I did a few trades here on PROG. You can see that it shows the realized, how many shares we traded in, shares traded out. So again, these columns are completely customizable, right? So you can set this, you can drag and drop each column to wherever you want. So here's the trade aggregator. This is also going to show you exactly how many shares you traded on that specific symbol. So you can see we traded 200 shares. We had a buy and sell for PROG. Then for Siri here, we're still holding 100 shares here. So that trade, we haven't closed out of that trade. You can see the order history. This is going to update here in real time. So your first row right here is going to be the most current action, right? So if you cancel an order, if you get executed on a trade, if you close out of a trade, it's going to appear right here on the top row. So you can theoretically, you can just use this here if you want to keep track of, and manage your trades and everything here. So this here also, this next tab here is the accounts details tab, and this is showing how much buying power you have, your equity, how many shares you traded, okay, and then your leverage, right? We're using 4 times leverage on this account. And that pretty much, wraps up the portfolio window. So we're going to be moving on next here to charts. So I'm going to close this window here, and we're going to move on to, I'm going to open up a chart window for you guys. So you can see right here in the top of the bar, of the top of the platform window here, we have a toolbar here. So I can configure this to kind of streamline it a little bit, or I can use the main toolbar. Let's open up the Pro Charts. All right, we can take a look at a symbol here that I traded here. We did a few trades here. Just a quick scalp here on the platform. Take a look at Siri here. We did a trade right here. So we're still long this stock here. Let's take a look at Cisco. All right, this looks like a great chart to do a demonstration on. So basically for charting, you have the opportunity to customize this here with indicators. All right, and then also we have different drawing tools here. So this is the drawing toolbar, so where you can add horizontal lines, trend lines, Fibonacci retracements. You can add like a text note. It's got a lot of great features, and you also have the opportunity here to like customize for example, we can set this chart up with our different indicators and lines, right? So if we want to draw like support resistance lines, we can actually save that. And then we can go to indicator sets. We can save that current set so that when we reopen another chart, we can automatically apply it. Okay, any of these pre-configured layouts that I have here for the charts. So I'll just show you something here that we have for average price. This is showing us here our average price here on this stock here that we traded. So this is our entry here. You can see the triangle. And so we're going to get into this again. I'm going to show you guys. Just keep a note, keep track of what's going on here, because I'm going to bring all this information together here at the end. So we're going to look at these horizontal lines, how you can redraw them without having going back to the toolbar here. So also we have, again, so you have your indicators here. So some of the popular indicators are, moving averages, Bollinger Bands, MACD. All right, We have some new indicators here for price, so we can look at previous day's high, previous day's low. And then also the charts have the opportunity, right, so that you can drag and drop your orders. So if we place an order here, we'll be able to customize that. But again, we're going to come back to that here in just a few minutes. So that's pretty much it for the charts. Again, there's a lot of features. If you go to the top here of the chart window, this is going to bring up the chart properties, and you can see here that this has a lot of different configurations, right? So it does kind of seem like it's overwhelming at first, but the features are really cool. You know, you have a countdown timer, you have the opportunity to customize your lines, show after-hour sessions, day separator lines for the open and close, so you can show those here. So there's just a lot of great features here, and if you want to just disable some of the chart objects here, you know, you can unselect this here, so you can bring into focus what matters most to you as a trader, right?
So Frank, can I ask a question about the indicator sets?
Sure.
So are the indicator sets used, so let's just say I wanted to set a chart up and put 10 indicators on it, and I wanted to reproduce that. Is that how I would use the indicator set? So I could save that layout for that chart, and then every time I open up a new chart, I'll see the same indicators?
Yeah, so basically just pretend this is a new chart. If I go into the indicator sets and then apply, I can apply something, any of these configurations that I have here. So this was a previous study that I made, a layout that I've created for the charts. And then you have to kind of refine it to show, you have to go back to chart properties and kind of refine things to show like day separator lines. So you have some opportunity to kind of refine things a little bit more here.
So you can open up another chart with the same sets, correct? So can
Yes.
you do that? Can you demonstrate that? Opening up a new chart? Having two charts with the same indicators?
Sure, John. Let's open up another chart here. And so let's type in a symbol. And then I'm going to go to indicators, indicator sets here, and then we'll apply, we can look at this here. So you can see that this is bringing up the moving averages. I have like the 10, 20, 50, 100. This is the 200. We have the MACD. If I want to look at, for example, if I want to bring this, right, like if I want to open up another chart, let's say you're creating a layout, right? And you bring up another chart. So you can save. So once you have your charts here configured and you have everything customized the way that you want, you can go to, you can save it right here, save your indicator set. All right, all you have to do is just type in a name. Okay, and then we can go here, open a new chart, and just apply that new configuration. So that's how the chart settings kind of work. And then again, once you have your studies and drawing, so when you save your indicator sets, what you're saving is basically your indicators, right? So anything here that's under this list here, all right, you're saving that. And then once you have everything set up, then you're going to go into chart properties, and then you can do things like display like a countdown timer. And you can add like day separator lines here. So it's going to show you like the open and close. So you can see here, I have a countdown timer here on the price axis. If I want to switch this to, like, for example, I want to show it on the title bar, I can show that, and then I can disable some of the other averages, the information that I have here to kind of make it look a little bit nicer. So for example, we're going to just say we're going to show values in the title. We're going to change that to off. And okay, so now you can see you have the candle close right here. So what that's doing here is, like, if I switch, I'm on a 5-minute chart, right? So it's showing us here that the next candle is going to start in 5 minutes. what's counting down. So it's got 22, 21 seconds again, so we can be aware of when that next candle is going to be drawn in. All right, so if I switch to a 15-minute chart, you can see that it's actually we're actually starting the next new 15-minute candle here in about 3 seconds. So you can see it right now. They'll update the next new candle. There it is right there. So that's important for traders that are looking for like arbitrage, scalping opportunities, because the next candle is kind of a new set of information for traders to base their decisions on what they're going to do next, right? Where they're going to place their stop, how are they going to get in? So they're looking at the level 2 and then the charts, the next candle, the countdown for the next candle is a real valuable, important feature. So,
Right.
okay.
And so one other question I had, because I get this a lot from users, is right now we have a 1 minute, a 3 minute, a 5 minute, 15-minute shortcut, 30-minute, 60-minute, a daily shortcut. But if somebody wanted to see, let's just say like a 4-minute chart or a 6-minute chart, can they do that by typing directly into the chart?
So that's real simple, John. All you have to do is just make sure you bring into focus the chart window. And then, for example, let's look at a 2-minute chart. I'm going to type in 2M and type enter, and this is an actual 2-minute chart. So you can just use the keyboard to change the time interval on a chart.
Gotcha. So they would just type the number in and then M for minute?
Yes, 2 and then M, or like 10, 1, 0, and then M is going to bring up that time interval, chart interval. So yeah, there's a lot of features here on the charts. Those are kind of the most important ones. I want to show you just real quick here one of the indicator sets that I have here that's going to show us pre-market high and low. So I switched that there. You can see here it's got your pre-market high and pre-market high, pre-market low. So again, that's really good as an indicator. It's just traders use like horizontal lines, trend lines, previous days high and low, today's high and low prices to kind of as like a psychological level. So sometimes they can act as like a reversal signal. So this ZeroPro with the Pro charts kind of gives traders a lot of charting features again, so they can just kind of keep focused on what they want, what's important and significant to them as a trader. All right, and then also I want to show you guys the, let's see here, let's bring up. You can see here, I placed a trade here, so it's also going to show you like ticks and arrows. We have this set for triangles here. If I bring this chart here and switch it to a line here, you can see that it's showing us our trade here, so triangle. So this can actually, we can change the settings here to actually show also ticks and arrows, also how many shares that we've purchased, so there's a configuration for that as well. So I just wanted to show you that real quick before we move on here to our next window. We're going to review short locates. Also, this is also showing us here too on the stock here. On the price axis, you can see that we're in this stock here for 100 shares. This is the price that we bought, that we bought 100 shares here. On the price axis, you can see here all the way to the right, you see some numbers in green here, and then also red. This is actual your unrealized. So we can change this right from day unrealized or to realized. So this is configurable here. So, but this is actually showing you your profit potential and profit loss here. So you can manage your trades. It's going to help you manage your trades a little bit better. All right, so I'll move on to short locates because this is it's a really great feature for traders. If we want to search a symbol, we can just type in a symbol, and if they pop up in like green, for example, that means that they're already easy to borrow. You don't have to do a locate. But stocks like AMC, GME, right, they require a locate here. And if I click locate here, you can see that it brings this here to the opens order panel. And if I click up, it shows you your share price, also the shares, how many shares that are available, the total cost of that. So it's $1.53. We click accept. That brings that down here to the inventory window. And again, that's going to show you whether or not if your locates are unavailable or available, which again, if you mark them for credit, they become unavailable. So let me just break down the locates for you guys real quick. So during the trading day, if you have any locates that you want or need, you can mark all of your portion of your locate shares for credit by pressing the credit button. And then next to each located symbol's quantity, you can see the quantity now that it's 100 shares. By marking your locate shares for credit, you will make sure that the shares are available. The shares are going to basically be available on a first come basis to other TradeZero clients looking for the locates in the same security. So you can recoup up to 50% of your initial locate cost if there's another TradeZero client that wants to purchase your, the locates that you have marked for credit. So basically, when I was talking about, become unavailable, if it's available, unavailable, when you mark a locate for credit, it's automatically going to be placed in a locked state. So that's preventing you from initiating a new short position with those locates. And you can see that we also have our history tab. So this is going to show you real-time updates here on pending orders, also the price. So you can see this is the cost. It's going to show you the cost that you paid for the locates, and then also if we receive a credit, it's also going to show you the credit that was received. And then again, these are a list here that you can search. This is all the stocks that are on the easy to borrow list. And that's pretty much it. So for the locates, it's really revolutionary again, because I don't think there's another platform out there where you can receive a credit for locates that are not needed.
So Frank, question: these stocks that show up in green, the symbols on the right-hand side that show up in green, those stocks are easy to borrow and do not need a locate, correct?
That's correct, John. Yeah, if they pop up in green, that means that you can, if the stock is not on, if it's not restricted for the day, you can sell short the security
without having to locate.
Without having to locate, yeah.
And if you do a locate, how many times can you use that locate throughout the day?
Yeah, we're going to get into that too. That's basically on the level 2. It's going to show you, not only can you see the inventory here, but you're able to see the true size on the level 2 window. And you're able to basically use the locate. You can, if you reduce your locate by whatever, 50, you have 100 shares, you reduce it by 50, and then you close out of your position, right? It comes back to 100, and you'll be able to use.
I can trade and execute in and out of that specific symbol that I locate as many times as I want throughout the same day, correct?
Correct, that's correct.
Okay.
Yep, once you have a locate, it's there for the entire trading session. I think you can start trading from, is it 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern using the locate system.
Right, so the locates don't carry over to the next trading day.
They don't, no, you would have to relocate the security for the next trading day. Gotcha. But they're good, yeah, as long as you have shares to locate, they're good for trading for the day.
Great.
All right, okay, so great. So yeah, and again, this is gonna make a little bit more sense again when I'm able to kind of show you guys the locate that we have here and the level 2 window and the chart. So I'll be able to kind of send out an order, drag and drop orders, and we'll short a stock. We'll do an example. Okay.
One second, Frank. There is a question I actually want to touch on right now. It's from Michael. That's a good question, Michael. Michael's asking, are you credited 100% of value if they're not used? I just want to let you know, Michael, that no, you don't get credited 100% of value if they're not used. Now, whether the locate is used or not, the credit value would have nothing to do with that, right? The credit value is based on the supply and demand at that current time that you place the credit for. So it could either be 50%, it could be 10%, 20%. It all depends on supply and demand. So just for your own knowledge, don't base it on that case. Go ahead, Frank. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. Too. Also, if you do, just a quick reminder here too. There is a icon here on the upper right here of the window, and that's going to walk you through kind of some of the terminology, right? So you can learn a little bit. If you request the free demo trial, right, you'll be able to kind of learn a little bit more about the features. And this window does have a kind of walkthrough for it. So it's going to show you how this works. So, okay, great. Yeah, good question. All right, so let's move on to the level 2 window. And since we did locate here on AMC, I'll bring up AMC, and then I guess we can look at a chart as well here, because we're kind of basically all we have left here to review is our hotkeys. So we're going to kind of tie things in a little bit here. So again, here on the platform, I can go into any application window, and I can link it to a chart or high and low scanner or the watch list. So if I type in a symbol here on the chart, it's going to bring up the information on the level 2 as well. Also, we have a news feed, so you'll be able to kind of get an idea of what's going on in the market. So let's see here. We have a locate here on AMC, right? And so you can see this is the true size. So we have 100 out of 100 shares, right? So if I short 50 shares, you'll be able to, again, you'll see it here, update. So it's going to reduce by 50 shares. So that means it'll say 50 by 100. And then when you cover your position, it comes back, right? So it's always going to be, when you're flat, it'll be 100 out of 100, or if you have 200 shares, it'll be 200 out of 200. So again, it's just a great idea. Concept. It's a feature available only on the ZeroPro trading platform, so you can kind of monitor some of the stats. Not only can you monitor your locates, but you can also look at your position that you have, current position that you have. So if I go here to the position here that we have in Syria, you can see that it's we're looking at 100 shares. It's showing us our average price and then our unrealized. So really, you can almost trade just looking at the chart in level 2 window. Okay, and then also here you can see that the time in sales we have, it's showing like 1, right? We can change this to show this in blocks of 100. So if I go into preferences, and you can see that we have display trade size and blocks of 100. So we uncheck this box here. It's going to kind of show you exactly like the real deal here. So now you can see that you have the actual size, exact number of shares here on the offer. So you can see, like, for example, Nicey here's got almost 18,000 shares. You can see 166 shares just printed right here. So again, you can kind of change the properties here of the level 2 window. Let's take a look at another symbol here. If you guys have any symbols that you think are moving right now, we type them into the chat. We can bring them up on the chart. So this here is the limit up, limit down indicator. And this is a really great feature here. Let's just kind of change things up real quick. I'm going to show you the old school setting here that traders we used to use back in the late 90s here. So the you can see how we can change some of the features here for level 2, but you still see the limit up, limit down indicator, price band indicator. And basically this is a really valuable feature for traders, because if a stock is moving, if there's a lot of momentum in a security, right? This price band is set by the exchanges, right? It's a calculation based on a 5-minute interval, and it's always updating. So if the security moves very fast, you'll see the actual price band. It's right now on Cisco, it's 56.92. I'm sorry, 58.92. So that's a few points, right, higher. But yeah, if there was breaking news or something, you'll see this, right, kind of move up in the different levels here on the price. On the level 2. So what that enables you to do as a trader is you can make a decision, all right? Because as soon as this price band reaches the top offer here, the best offer, it works as the exact same, you know, on the bid as well. If the price is dropping real fast, you'll see this price band move up. So
Frank, I'm sorry, Frank, just type in symbol RDBX.
What's the symbol?
More Roger, David, Boy, X-ray.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's good. So yeah, so you can see here how the price bands work. So it's trading at 15.14, and the next price band here is at 16.72. So if news were to come out and the stock just moved up real quick, again, you'll be able to monitor this. It's not just going to move up to the top. You know, it's going to move. You'll be able to see it move up, right? You're going to be able to make a decision to close out of your trade if you don't want to participate, because the circuit breakers are kind of like a it's a auction market actually. So if you don't want to participate in that auction, you can close out of your trade. All right.
Just one thing, those bands on the level up, level down, if you change the color scheme inside the level 2 to the blue color scheme, you'll be able to show them better.
Yeah, let's, I think we did show that here. First, I'll bring it back for you, John. So yeah, you can see them a lot better here too. Yeah, again, it really helps out in trading again. So you can kind of get out right at the edge, you know, right before the stock gets paused on volatility. All right, so for the level 2, we covered some of the most important features here. This also has, you're also able to customize custom hotkey buttons, and basically that's whenever you configure your hotkeys, right? And you decide on a hotkey assignment and everything, you can go in here too and add a custom hotkey button. So you can add up to 8 of them right now. So I have mine set for like dollar value, and I can just add these real quick. Why don't we just add these so you can kind of get an idea. And this is just this is basically just a way to add special order types, right? We're going to break down the hotkeys next, but these are kind of like special order types that that traders like to use, right? So if they're looking at a stock, let's say that's trading at, you know, $3, for example, right? And you know you want to use, for example, like 100% of your buying power, or maybe you want to use 50% of your buying power. It's kind of up to you how you can create this, right? But let me just set these few up. We got, all right, so you can see we can add up to 8. I just added a couple here, but what it does basically, if I press 1,000 here on this stock here, so you can see that it loads it up. It knows the price, it knows how much buying power I have, and it loads the quantity, right, for 66 shares. Well, that's only, we're only using, you know, $1,000. We have $3,000 available buying power. Let me kind of make this a little nicer. Okay, and then also you have the opportunity to, let's say you're trading a stock and you want to be able to just close out of that position the next time you bring it up. There's an auto load feature here as well. And that's basically right here. So if I have this box checked, it's going to auto load the quantity, right, based on your position. So if you're switching symbols and you come back to a stock that you already bought 2,500 shares, or you have 5,000 shares, it's going to automatically load that quantity for you. Or again, you can use, you know, we're going to go into the hotkeys next, but you can configure orders, right? So you can just bring up a symbol, use the keypad, you can type in 2,500 shares. It's going to load the quantity for you here on the order preference screen here in the level 2 window, right? And then the next step, again, just, you know, depending on what kind of order you have, you just press enter and it sends it through. All right, so let's take a quick look here at hotkeys. I think that covers everything, John, right? In the level 2 window, we did the hot buttons. Oh, also there's, if you have a watch list and let's say you like this symbol, right, and you want to add it to your watch list, there's also an icon right here, so you can add that symbol to your watch list. And again, everything is, you know, you can customize, you know, the colors, the fonts here on pretty much any of these windows, right? You can kind of customize the look and feel of everything. All right, so yes, sir.
Nope.
Yeah, we're moving on to hotkeys. Yeah, anyone have a question? We can kind of start looking at questions now, I guess, because all we have to do is.
So one of the users actually asked, what are the colors inside of the time and sales window represent?
Those are indicating, so basically if a trade is at the offer, right, it's going to be placed, it's going to be at green, right? So I don't think we have a setting for that, do we, John, to change the time and sale colors?
We have it in the individual standalone time and sale window. If you break that out, there's an icon on top for time and sales. And if you open up the time and sales window as an individual window, if you type a symbol in there.
Yeah, that's actually a good, what we can do is, if let's say you can customize this here, this window, this time and sales window right here to kind of just show you For example, let's say you want to look at display trades only greater than 500, right? And then you can bring this one up next to it. We can kind of look at things in a different perspective, right? So we'll link this here. We'll take a look at, let's see, is there another symbol we want to look at, or we want to keep looking at RDEX? Let's take a look at, for example, something that's moving here. So AMD, so you can see how this works, right? Right here, I'm only going to see, shares trading higher than 500 shares. And then I can go here and customize the preferences on this time and sales window. So I can say, like, show me, highlight trades. It's going to show me trades that are 50 shares, 100 shares, but I want to highlight trades that are, 200 shares or greater, right? And then here's our color. We can customize the colors. So basically, to answer your question, if it's trading above the ask, right, we can see like a lime green or a light green. If it's trading at the ask, okay, you can see the color preferences here. So if you want to change that, you can change that to a little darker if you want. Trading on the inside is going to be white. Trading at the bid is red, and then trading below the bid is kind of like an orange here. And then there's some conditions here that you can see in the gray. That's basically anytime somebody's updating a quote, right? If they're adding, let's say somebody posts an order, right? It's going to show that update. But if you just want to look at strictly time and sales, we can just uncheck that.
Very quickly also, Frank, so Mark is asking, how did you break out the time and sell window? So Mark, we didn't break the window. There's another window on the main, so you can click on the time and sell. Can you point to it, Frank? So Mark knows the time and sell
Right
button.
here?
Yeah, so for Mark, that's the button where you can extract it and get a time and sell, and then you could link it to the level 2 window, so you can see the time and sell for that specific ticker you have there. So there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
Mark. Good.
yeah,
Go ahead.
and also just one last note here on the time and sales. If I just want to use this time and sales window, since it has kind of a little bit more features, I can go into the preferences here. And again, some traders like to see both, right? They like to see, okay, what price, the stock is trading. When somebody buying 1,000 shares, you can see there's a couple orders here. So it's going to be more prioritized on the price that somebody's trading, like 1,000 shares or 2,000 shares, 5,000 shares. But you can go into the preferences here, and if you just want to look at this, the other time and sales window, we can disable. We can actually. So we have a setting here for display trade timestamp. Let's see, time and sales, sorry. Okay, so now you can kind of you can build your layout kind of like this, if that is more meaningful for you, right? So again, there's a lot of cool features here on the platform that you can do. And every trader is different, so they have a different idea of what information is kind of relevant to them. All right, so let me, what I'll do is I'm gonna
Frank, there's
Yep.
one thing that we failed to mention. It's regarding the green S and the LR. Can you break it down? The shortable and locate required on the level 2.
Okay. Yes, thank you. So if we're looking at a stock, right? So we know we were looking at the short locates, and we brought up Cisco, and we were looking at like Oracle, and you can see here on the very top here, it's marked with an S. That means, again, it's easy to borrow. You can right now we can sell the stock short. If I want to sell, for example, let's say we'll sell we'll short 10 shares here, right? Okay, so you can see that we're short now the stock. It didn't require any other additional steps. All right, if it has, for example, like AMC, we have a locate on that, so that's showing us that we have 100 shares available there. Again, we can do the same thing that we just did on Oracle. We can short the stock. If we look at GameStop, this is a symbol that's pretty much every day it's going to require a locate. So LR means that it's locates required. You have to go into the shorting. You have to go back to your short locates panel here, and then you got to bring up, you got to type in GME, right? You can see that's here. You got to do locate on that. Once you locate it and click accept, right? GME will be just kind of like AMC, where we have, it's going to show you for, depending on how many shares that you locate, it's going to show right here your true size. All right, so you guys want to move on to hotkeys?
And one more question. If a stock is short sale restricted, would you see that in the level 2? Would there be information on that?
Yes, yeah, John, thanks for reminding me on that. That's actually an important indicator here. I'm trying to see here. Let's see. We can look at, to do that. If you want to find stocks that are short sale restricted, we can bring up the tops list here, and let's see if we can see. There's a couple symbols here that we have. So if we're looking at this one here, XELA, you can see that there's asterisks. We type that symbol. Let's see. This is already. We'll just double click on it. All right. So since it has asterisks here, it's going to show you here on the title bar, level 2 title bar, SSR. That means it's short sale restricted. And the reason what happens is that during a trading session, if the stock price drops 10% or more, then the exchanges basically have some control measures where you can't short the stock. Even though even if you have a locate, you cannot sell at the bid. You would have to post an offer, right? So does that explain the short sale restricted securities? That kind of, does that give you guys a kind of clear idea of how that works? You're still able to short the stock. It's just kind of a control mechanism where when the stock drops 10% during the trading session, for that trading session, the pre and post market session, and the previous day, you can do a locate, but you're not going to be able just to sell the bid. You would have to place an offer, and that's
right. To further there, it pretty much means that you can only short a stock on an uptick, right? And so if a stock is dropping rapidly, the shorts will not be able to short it right away. So you pretty much have to short at an uptick so that the stock doesn't rapidly go down. And it's an SEC rule that was built on 2010. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's the alternative. I think you guys can look it up. It's called the alternative uptick rule. But yeah, if you place an order out here to sell the stock, we can do a locate on this if you guys want to see how it works. But basically, you're on the offer. Somebody has to hit your price, and I guess that's what they consider an uptick. Is that correct, Mohammed?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Right on.
So just to be clear, just so I'm clear, if a stock is on the short sale restriction list, you can still short it. You just have to wait for it to uptick before you initiate your short position.
Yeah, somebody has to. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Somebody has to actually, there has to be order.
A tick up.
Tick up. Yeah. I'm kind of confused too on why they say it's a tick up. It's just your offer has to be lifted. So I guess that's a tick up, right? Because you're seeing on the time and sales, right? Like it's going to be a green. Right, it's going to be on the offer, so I guess that's considered a tick up, right?
Right.
Okay.
Correct. Frank, just to be mindful of the time. Right now it's 12:43, so let's move on to, we want to be mindful of the trader's time. Let's move on to hotkeys, and then we'll do about 10 to 15 minutes Q&As.
Okay, great. All right, so here's some of the hotkeys that I have configured here. So here are some of the hotkeys that I have configured, and what you can do as a trader, you can create different hotkeys to take control of the keyboard, right? So there's not only can you set up and send orders, but you can kind of create a hotkey, right, to switch your market depth windows. You have one to switch and toggle charts, and then also here we have you have the opportunity to liquidate positions by percent, so I can liquidate by 50%, by 100%. I can tell the system, I can create a specific hotkey to liquidate stocks only, or I can have one for options, right? And by all means, right, you can create one for each. So it just depends on how you set this up. And we'll walk you through a quick example here on how we set up an order. So this here is the hotkey assignment. So again, you can use your function keys here. You can give this a description. And then here for the name, you can just type in something simple, right? Like market by, and this again correlates here to whatever you have here. So that the name that you specify, when you go back to your level 2 window and open up the preferences, when you assign, you just go back in here and look for the name that you have for that specific hotkey. So I recommend, yeah, if you're starting off as a new trader, you kind of map things out, write them out exactly what you want to do, and then you come back in and then just kind of create the assignments and then the description and the names for each hotkey. But I have some already set up for you guys. And before we look into that, I just want to let you know that this is a really advanced platform for trading. You're able to configure hotkeys based on your buying power, based on a dollar amount. That's going to be here for your order type, right? You can do one for, you can create a hotkey to sell short or to cover X% of a locate. All right, you have other hotkeys for market orders, limit orders, stop markets. And then if you create a limit order, you can do it with a price offset. So I can say, I want to limit buy the offer no higher than 5 cents. So it's going to send out an order, and you have some price protection there. So a lot of traders use limit orders, and they'll have like a 5 cent offset. So they know when they hit their hotkey, they're not going to get a fill for, if the ask is at $5, they're not going to get printed at 505, at higher than 505, right? So you can have offsets for your orders. You can also create range orders. And again, this is if you have, let's say you're in a position and you want to send out a profit-taking order and also a stop loss. So you enter your hotkey, you enter to buy, and then you hit your range hotkey, and that's going to automatically, depending on how you have your high and low prices set up, it's automatically going to set up an order. So you have some price protection, and also you have an order out there to take profit, right? And you can create several different variations of this range order hotkey. So you can kind of, if a stock is moving in your way, right, you might want to close out a different, you might want to send a limit order or a range order to price out at different higher levels. So any questions on this? I know we can talk about this for a while, but I want to give you guys a chance to kind of ask questions. That's pretty much a basic breakdown here of the hotkeys. You can, let's see here. So what I can do here is just close this out here. Well, we can walk you through a few trades here, and I can use my hotkeys to set up and send an order. So let's bring up a chart. All right, and we'll just bring up this stock here, Siri. And then I know once I hit my hotkey, the portfolio window is automatically gonna show up. So let's close out of this trade here. So I have 100 shares. Again, let me just want to show you one indicator here, since we have this on the screen. So again, this is a configuration here that I made, and it's showing me again pretty much all the features most traders use, except for the previous days high and low prices and today's high and low. But pretty much this is showing you, this blue line here is your average price. You have the green arrow here is indicating that we purchased stock here. Now if I use my hotkey here, I'm just going to go ahead and close out of this position. And remember here again, there's so many different variations that you can use for your hotkeys, but I'm going to give you kind of a pro tip here. When you're buying when you're getting into a stock, you can use your hotkey to auto send the order. So I can just press whatever hotkey F5 here on my keyboard, and it's going to auto send an order for let's say 100 shares. And I can just do that once, and then let's say I like the level, I can hit it again, and it's automatically going to send it out. So now I have like 200 shares. And then what I can do is create a hotkey that's going to close out 100% of the position, right? So in this example, or you can do it by, you can change the share quantity by using your keypad. So let's just close out of this trade here. I pressed my hotkey here, F11, all right? You can see we just sold out, we just closed out of this trade here. I'm gonna leave this window here open now so you guys can see kind of the real time, how fast the system is. It is pretty fast. You're gonna receive instant execution here, executions on your trade. And also here you can see that it's indicating a red triangle here because that's our closing position, right? So any symbols that you guys want to trade, or John, you want to look at like a big cap Cisco or?
So Frank, just before we jump into the Q&As, let's go over just one thing on the hotkeys. Can you walk us through setting up a hotkey to buy or sell by dollar amount, execute that, and then just to walk people through how that's set up on the hotkeys.
Okay, so we have these here. These are our custom hotkey buttons, and let's see here. I have this set up. Let me go into my hotkeys again, see which one I have this set up as. I don't use the dollar amount too much. I just kind of use, the keypad to type in the quantity for the shares because I kind of know what I want to, how much shares I want to buy. But if you want to do it by a dollar amount, we have it here. We hit Control A, right? And here's the criteria for the trade. So we're gonna buy $1,000 at market here. I have it set for auto send. You can have it prompt for a confirmation. So, and again, that links here to the window right here. So that custom hotkey, here's the custom hotkey button. So for this symbol Cisco, we have approximately $2,000 in buying power, right? So if I hit 1,000, it's going to load it for 17 shares, and you can see that it just sent it automatically right there. So we have 17 shares.
So Frank, just to be clear, the hot buttons basically shortcut back to your hotkeys, right? So you can assign a hot button to a pre-programmed hotkey that you already have set up. That's what the hot buttons are for, correct?
Yeah, the hot buttons, right. So whatever you create in your hotkey configuration file, you can come back to the level 2 window, set that up as a custom hotkey button. It just goes, what you're seeing here, this is the name. So you give your hotkey a description, right? You give it, you have a hotkey assignment, right? So you're using whatever configuration that you have mapped out on your keyboard, and then you give it a name, and then you come back to the level 2 window, go to preferences, and here's the hotkey button. So all the hotkeys that I have set up, right? So I have them here. These are all the names of everything that I set up. So
can you set up? Can you change the name on one of your hot buttons to show people how to change the name?
Sure. So if I go to change the name, okay, let's do that. So we have to go back to change the name. We go back into the hotkey configuration, and then, for example, let's see here. So if I click on any one of these here, let's see, market. There's market buy, auto send right here, this hotkey here. So I have it set as market buy. So if you just want to change it to, buy limit, for example, you can do that. So however you set it up here, the name applies to this custom hotkey button here that you have on the level 2 window.
Gotcha.
All right, so I guess let's just set up a couple more orders here. I'll show you guys how it updates here on the orders history tab, so you can see how fast the executions are. So I'll just, I don't know if you guys want to look at this, John, or we want to look at the order history so you can see the time and everything. We'll just, let's just do both. So I'll close out of this position here, 17 shares. Let's see. So again, so that's pretty much, we just close out of that position here. If I go to something here, let's look at another symbol. So if you watch right here, the top row here, we'll go to a stock, PROG. I know this one is moving pretty fast here. So let's see if we can find a stock. We'll buy 100 shares. Okay. You can see here, here's our arrow right here. And you can see that the countdown timer, we have 4 minutes and 42 seconds until the next candle. All right, so close out of this trade. So look, you can see the profit right here, $3.06. We'll close out. All right, so that's everything. It's reporting in real time. Here's your trade information. You can see your arrows, your buy and sell arrows here. All right, this was the blue line is our average price that we had. See our indicators. You can see the real-time updates in the portfolio manager. And again, it's a pretty advanced system for traders, for active traders that are looking to have fast, instant access to the markets. So you guys have any questions?
So Frank,
All
I
right,
have
Frank,
I'm sorry, Mo. Let me.
yeah, John. Yeah.
So I have a user that asked, can you change the limit prices on an open order from the chart? Can we place an order that sits and that does not execute and then drag and drop and show that feature?
Yeah, so I have a hotkey here to set up a limit order right below the bid, and let's take a look at that here. So I'm gonna press my hotkey. You can see that I have, if I want to use 200 shares, I press my hotkey again. 200 shares, we're looking at a price of $3.85, right, which is approximately like 15 cents below the market, right? So hit enter. You can see now we have a new order pending here. Here's our order here.
Frank, can we delete some of those indicators?
Yeah, I was just about to, yeah, no problem. You can just, actually probably the fastest way is just go into your chart properties. Okay, you can delete these things. And then, okay, so here you can see this is our limit order that we have here. Now, if I want to cancel and replace it, let's say I want to bring it a little bit lower. Maybe you want to get a better price on your trade. It's going to bring up this window, and then I can fine tune it just a bit more by the penny. So I can change it to whatever price you want, $3.75. It's going to cancel and replace the order here. So here's our new limit order for $3.75, and then again, it's indicated here on the chart as well.
Does that also work on the short side?
Sure, yeah, we can send out one here to short the stock. So I'll do the same thing. I'm going to try to, we'll have to do a locate on this one, but let's see, we can go to AMC, and I can kind of give you an idea here how this is how this works here. So let's short the stock. Oh, okay, sorry. So am I already short the stock? That's why. Am I short the stock? So I hit my key here to short. We'll short 50 shares. Okay, so you can see that there's my limit order right here. And again, if the stock is moving up higher, I can kind of refine the limit price a little bit higher here. So if the stock is moving really fast, you can send out a couple limit orders here above the market, and you'll be able to cancel, drag and drop, cancel, replace these lines here. And I'm sorry about that. I think we got rejected right here because I don't think I have the buying power here for 100 shares at AMC. So so when we try, we can just do it for like 10 shares, and I can show you a few limit orders here. So I send out one right there above the market. I'm gonna hit my hotkey again for 10 shares. Now I'm gonna adjust the limit price to 36.29. There's my other limit order here. I can do that. So we can send out one at 36.39. So now again, I'm at an advantage, right? If I'm looking to short the stock, I can use the momentum of the the trade to work for me, right? If I want to cancel all these orders, I can cancel by last order only, or I can cancel all the orders at once. Again, and if you want to adjust this again, all I have to do, I'll show you another quick example on this. You can just bring the limit order up, change the price if you want, and it's going to cancel and replace that order. So also, if I want to, let me show you guys how the true size here. So I'm using limit orders. Again, you can auto send market orders, but for example, let's say I hit my key hotkey. All right, I'm using that price offset. So the best bid is at 36.08. All I'm going to do is just change my price to 36.01. All right, I got short the stock here, AMC for 10 shares at the bid, 36.06. You can see that the true size was reduced. We now have 90 out of 100, right, being displayed here on the level 2 window. So that means I can short the stock. Again, I got 90 more shares to short. If I want to cover, if I cover the position, it's going to, right, it's going to come back. So let's, we'll just cover this trade. Okay, so I just closed out of the trade. And you can see that it came back. Now we're showing 100 out of 100. And I think that covers pretty much everything for the drag and drop and the chart features. The only thing that I wanted to show you guys too, here on the charts, if we go to indicator sets, I can look at previous days high and low. I think we looked at today's pre-market high and low, but for previous days high and low, you can see that we can look and kind of get an idea.
Right, can you show the pan, the locking of the pan and vertical zoom?
Sure. So right now this is locked. I cannot pan, right? This is a great feature, John, because let's say a stock is, it's moving up, trading higher for the day, right? Let's see if we can find one. Sometimes, right, you can see that it's really high, close to the top of the chart window, right? And so maybe you want to send out an order and you want to look at the order. If you have this here, make sure that you have this. Make sure you don't have this locked here, and then now you can kind of you can adjust the pan, the vertical pan, right? You can adjust the zoom, right? And then if it gets if you want to reset, you can just quickly reset things here. And it's going to reset. So there's an actual button here so that you can reset the pan and the zoom here for your charts.
So you can zoom in by using the shortcuts on the top of the chart, the plus and minus.
Right.
You can also zoom in using the mouse wheel.
Yeah.
But there's also another option for zooming in and out, and it's on the number keypad on the keyboard, the plus and minus key. If you plus and minus key, you'll zoom in and zoom out quickly.
Yeah, that's what's going on here.
On the keyboards, on the number pad of the keyboard section.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're doing. Yeah, if you want to just kind of, you can use the chart icons here. You can use the mouse wheel, the up and down arrow here on the keyboard will also zoom. And again, if you're adjusting things and zooming, you want to reset everything to the default setting. You just reset the zoom.
All right, Frank, I think right now we're just past an hour, and we've been answering actually, without knowing. We answered a lot of questions that a lot of people are dropping for us, but there are some questions that we still need to go over. So we'll jump into the Q&As. We'll do about 3 to 5 questions right now, and then we'll wrap it up just because, we want to be mindful of everybody's time, right?
Yeah. Hey, real quick, before you start the Q&A,
sure.
One thing, this will be just a quick second here, but I wanted to wait to kind of bring everything together for you guys because I know we were like looking at one window at a time. I wanted to show you, let's just go to a quick defaults chart here. And so default chart here. So real important, I know traders are really they're very smart and they look at different, charting patterns and everything. One thing on the platform that you can do is you're able to like draw your support resistance lines, right? So if I go here and I click horizontal line, right? So I can lock this, it's going to activate it. Now I'm just going to draw my support lines, right? Whatever you think is important to you as a trader. You can, before you do this, right? Let's say you can erase these, right, and start over. But let's say I want to, draw green lines, right? You can draw green. You can. It's probably a good idea you kind of define it before you start, but you can change the line style and everything. And then again, so this is now locked in place. I'm just going to draw my lines. Okay, it's real simple to do that. Whatever previous low, whatever candle you think is important. And then if I go in here and then change the color, right? All I have to do is just change the color, and then I can draw, your whatever resistance line. So sorry about that, Mo. I just wanted to show you real quick on how you can do that before we move on to the Q&A.
No, thank you, Frank. That was actually a great thing to go over. So thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of question. I'm very happy. There's a lot of engagements here. But we'll just take a couple of them. So Frank, we forgot there was a question about this. We didn't go over it earlier. Can you show people how to turn on and turn off the free flowing windows? So if somebody wants to use their platform on multiple screens rather than one screen.
Yeah, that's going to require that we would have to reset the application, but I can show you that setting. It's basically,
yeah, just the setting. We don't have to actually do it. I just want to let everybody know how to get to it.
Okay, yeah. If you go to the main toolbar here, you see this connection tab. We're going to just select that there. And here, this is where you sign on, right? And if we click this icon, this radio dial here, the plus card, we'll click the plus card right there, and then that's going to bring up this panel. So free floating windows, if we select that, it's saying that's, restart's required, but that's basically all that's needed that you need to do.
Right, so pretty much when you click the yes, the platform will reset itself, and then it will reopen in multiple screens, so you can pretty much flow the windows, the level 2s, charts, time and sell anywhere within your however you like in your screen. And while we're at that client connection window, I'd like to go over something. So if you're ever experiencing difficulties connecting to the ZeroPro, it is always best if you run a diagnostics, so that for client services. So in order for us to understand what's going on, so go ahead, Frank, and click on run at the bottom there.
Okay.
I just want to run all diagnostics so that people can understand how to bring us those if they have any issues. Like it could be multiple things. It could be because of their location. It could be because of the internet, but we'd like to help and find out what it is. So you get the report. All you have to do is copy it and paste it to us, or send it to support@tradezero.us if you're in the US, or support@tradezero.co if you're from the international branch, and we'll be able to help you with that as well.
All right.
All right. So let's dig more for other questions here. All right. So can you go over, and this might be the last question, can you go over the type of orders? For example, market limit, stop order, and range order specifically. A lot of people don't understand range order, so let's just go over it as well. And I'll back you up if you ever need help with any of the type of orders, Frank.
Okay. Sure. So let's go to our hotkeys here. Okay, so is this okay? You guys can see this okay? I know we're kind of we want to show one window at a time, but I think you guys can get the idea here. So let me just do this. Let's go to setup or send order, right? Because this is pretty much when you get your new account or you have a demo account, this is the first thing that you're going to do. You're going to go to setup and send your order. All right. You're going to map out. I recommend mapping out your hotkey assignments on a piece of paper first, so you know what you're doing, right? And then you're going to type in. You can use like your function keys, or you can use like Control A, or you can do like for me, I like to use like for my range orders, since I'm using my function keys for like my order types, and I want to do like a special range order. I can do like Control Z, X, C, create different variations of range orders. I know ZXC, where they're at, I know they're always going to be range orders, right? So the side is pretty much always going to be, you know, you're buying the stock, right? If you need to sell the stock short, or you need to cover, right? So you really have to pay attention on how your methodology, right, for trading, right? If you're short the stock, you need to cover. If you're long, you need to sell. If you're not short but you want to get short, you got to sell short. So each key you can set up, and then the next thing you do is your quantity type, right? So we have no change, means basically you can use your keypad, type in the quantity. You might want to set up the order just to load it. So, you know, most of these orders have an option here to auto send. So if you have this selected, then you can't really use no change. You kind of have to use quantity. So you can use, you know, I can auto send at market 100 shares if I have this auto send selected. And then here for the order types, I guess this is kind of what the question was. So if like range orders, right? So range orders basically give you the opportunity to send out a limit order, a profit-taking limit order, and then also a stop market order. So that's if it's indicated as a buy, then your high price is going to be your limit order to take profits, right? So we can base this, for example, I'll just start with the high price. So I can say I'm using the bid as the price source. So if the stock's trading at $5, and then I type in 15 cents here, right? And then I want to say I want to use, I'm sorry, did I have this right? The high price, I'm sorry, it needs to be the ask. And then the low price, right, is the bid. So the low price is going to be your stop loss order. So this needs to be a negative value. So you click down here on the arrow to whatever price you want. So if I create this hotkey, the way this is work, it's going to send out, if I have it set up to auto send, we're going to buy 100 shares. It's going to send out an order to buy 100 shares at the bid. I'm sorry, 10 cents. Pardon me. Mo, I just a quick question on this. With the range order, right? You have to have an existing position, right, to use this?
Yeah, you'll have to have an existing position, so you wouldn't be able to use, like for example, if you have Oracle right there, you'll have to set up a cover because you're short. So you'll set up a cover range order for that, and then
Okay.
it'll go through.
All right, let's set this up real quick. So I have one set up for range to cover. Do I? Okay, let's set this up. So we're going to cover our position, right? The order type is going to be range. The route, time and force is going to be day. So the low price on this instance, right, since it's covered, the low price is going to be our profit-taking order. So we'll put that here. Let's say on Oracle, we'll put this at 20 cents. And then the high price is going to be our stop loss order. So I can save this. F4 will be our hotkey. Description will be range cover. And then you can do something creative like whatever, range C for cover, right? So I already have this set up here, I think, range C. So might have to use something else. Okay, and then we save that. So F4, I'm gonna send out this order here on Oracle. Okay, so let's go to let's make sure you have the level 2 window active, and then I'll press F4. Okay, and then now you can see here we have our high and low prices, right? So if we look here at in the orders panel here, you can see our limit order to take profit at 97.27, which is approximately, we set this right 20 cents below the bid. We're using the bid as the price source, and then our stop market is at 97.63, which is I believe I have it set.
So you can also use the range order to get into positions too. So let's just say you were looking at what stock Oracle that you have on the screen and you wanted to get into the position. You can say, you can give it a high price of 100 and a low price of 95, and those orders will sit live both sides, one being, a stop market, one being a limit.
Right.
Just to clarify that.
Okay, thanks, John. Yeah, and one order is going to cancel the other. So when you do set up a range order, whatever action happens first, right? If you get, we're short this Oracle here, so if I get taken out on the stop order, it's going to cancel the limit order. If we, make money on the trade in the limit order, the limit order that we have out to take profit gets executed, then it's going to cancel the stop order.
All right, Frank, thank you very much. I think we were way past time, 1:15, an hour and 15 minutes into the webinar. I think it's time we wrap up for this right now. So let me just come on camera, making sure that everybody's here. So again, thanks to everyone that came. We appreciate guys having you. Thanks a lot for all the feedback that you gave us. If you have any future feedback or you want a specific feature, feel free to give us that feedback, and we'll be able to look into it and consider it. So if you have any other questions, also you could reach out to us, and we'll be happy to help you out. So thank you for that again. And John, if you want to say goodbyes.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for attending. This concludes this walkthrough of ZeroPro. We'll be doing more up and coming webinar events. If anyone has any questions that we didn't address, please send them to us to the email support@tradezero.co or support@tradezero.us, and we will try to address those if they didn't get addressed during the webinar. Also, just to bring to your attention, our development team is constantly working on ZeroPro and improving it. We are committed to bringing all of the feature requests that we get from our clients live into this platform in future releases. So once again, thank you for attending, and thank you to all our valued clients that make TradeZero what it is today. We appreciate you all. Thank you.
Yeah, and one thing, guys, this recording is going to be published on YouTube, so you can look out for it in a couple of days. It should be up there. So whoever missed it, or if you want to send it out to a friend, feel free to do so. All right. You guys have a great day. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, John. I appreciate everybody that's in here. We'll see you again next time. Take care.
Thank you.